From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the Kern County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy, and our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Okay, now Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Supervisor Peters?
Here.
Supervisor Parlier?
Here.
Supervisor Flores?
Here.
Supervisor Couch?
Here.
Supervisor Perez?
Here.
Okay, good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, January 6th, 9 a.m. meeting of the Kern County Board of Supervisors. We'll begin today's meeting with a flag salute led by our Director of Veterans Affairs, Jose Lopez, and following the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stay standing for a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation, whichever you prefer.
Good morning. Please have a seat while I read this. Sorry. Yeah, I don't want you to stay standing too long while I read these remarks real quick. I apologize. Good morning and Happy New Year's to you all. Thank you, Chairman and members of the board, for having me and allowing me to continue this tradition. Today, I want to kick off our flag salute project by keeping a promise I made to a Gold Star mom. Juana Martinez Rodela is the mother of Corporal Luis Ruan, who you see up on the screen today. Juanita holds the title of Gold Star Mom because she lost her son in service to our country and our freedom. Luis enlisted in the U.S. Army Infantry in August of 2016, and he suffered a traumatic brain injury during a night training exercise involving an Army Stryker vehicle on January 22nd, 2019. His journey to recovery took him to various hospitals, but he unfortunately succumbed to his injuries on April 20th of 2022. The promise I made to Juana was to help her in any capacity that I can to keep his name and memory alive. In talking to Juana, I've never met anyone so dedicated and passionate. Everywhere she goes, she hands out pins with his name. She mails postcards with his pictures. She, along with then Assemblyman Vince Fong, named a portion of Highway 119 in his honor. What Juana would want most of all is to remind everyone of her son's love for soccer and his infectious smile and personality. Let us honor his service to our country and his hometown of Taft by dedicating today's flag salute and moment of silence to his memory. So please, now, you may rise. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Okay, our next item will be to invite Nick Colin, Director of Animal Services, out to introduce our Pet of the Week. Good morning, Nick. How are we doing today?
Good morning, Chairman Peters and members of the board. This is Francis. Francis's ears came in before Francis did. But Francis is about a year old. He's got some beautiful coloring, beautiful markings. He's a male Chihuahua Min Pin mix, and he's available for adoption at the Kern County Animal Shelter.
Awesome. Well, what's the adoption fee for Francis?
He's just $10 right now.
Just $10. All right. Well, hopefully someone out there's looking for a little ball of energy like this guy.
He is energetic, yes.
Might grow into those ears one day. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. Good luck, Francis. Okay. Next, we're going to consider the consent agenda. All items listed with the CA above the items are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If members of the public wish to comment or ask questions regarding items on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken. Members of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. Members of the public may also comment on any closed session items. At this time, I'll read the consent agenda item numbers, and that's items 4 through 8 on page 2. Item 9 and 10 on page 2 will be heard in their listed order, and then all other items 11 through 39 on pages 3 through 6 are on consent. Is there anyone in attendance that would like to speak on the consent agenda? Okay, seeing none, would any of the members of the board have any comment or questions or motion?
Motion on consent, Chairman.
Thank you. We have a motion?
Second.
Okay, please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. Okay, the board will now hear item number 1, a resolution honoring 5th District Supervisor Leticia Perez for her numerous accomplishments as 2025 Chairwoman of the Kern County Board of Supervisors. And as I will be making that presentation, I will make a motion to approve.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
In 2025, 5th District Supervisor Leticia Perez proudly served as Chairwoman of the Kern County Board of Supervisors. She brought a wealth of experience and dedicated leadership to the residents of Kern County. Chairwoman Perez began the year by delivering the State of the County address, highlighting the theme Results That Resonate and emphasizing historic investments, job creation, a commitment to public safety, and quality of life improvements countywide. Under her esteemed leadership, Chairwoman Perez guided the board in adopting a fiscally responsible $4.5 billion budget for fiscal year 2025 through 2026, prioritizing stability, prudent planning, and high-quality public services through efficient use of county resources. And Chairwoman Perez supported the board's approval of the revised oil and gas rezoning ordinance, restoring environmentally responsible oil well permitting to promote energy development, economic growth, and job creation, reinforcing Kern County's role as California's energy capital. Chairwoman Perez worked diligently to improve residents' quality of life within the 5th District by advocating for investments in community amenities and local businesses, including securing millions of dollars in improvements for parks, roads, and community spaces. She also supported 6 small businesses in District 5 through grants of up to $10,000 under the Kern Biz Facade Improvement Grant Program, designed to enhance storefronts, security, and site beautification to strengthen economic vitality and community safety. Chairwoman Perez partnered with Employers Training Resources to support workforce development initiatives, including the implementation of the inaugural Youth Job and Resource Fair, expanding opportunities for young residents to gain valuable employment experience. And during the government shutdown, thousands of Kern County residents faced extreme hardship, and Chairwoman Perez, along with her District 5 team, took swift action by collaborating with Community Action Partnership of Kern to support regional mass food distributions, resulting in the delivery of 819,000 pounds of food to more than 12,000 families. Chairwoman Perez helped foster a strong partnership between Kern County, the Tejon Indian Tribe, and Hard Rock International, culminating in the long-awaited opening of the Hard Rock Tejon Casino, marking a historic moment for the county by bringing world-class entertainment, bolstering tourism, and generating thousands of high-quality jobs and vendor opportunities. Throughout her tenure as chairwoman, Supervisor Perez embodied the true meaning of public service, leading a dedicated staff committed to serving the constituents of District 5 and the residents of Kern County. Now, therefore, it is resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, does hereby commend and thank Supervisor Leticia Perez for leading the Board of Supervisors and the County of Kern in these outstanding accomplishments during her time as chairwoman. Thank you. Well, for all those accomplishments, there's still one thing you have left to do, and that's to sign this. So.
Thank you for that, new Chair Peters. You know, this is the honor of my life, to serve the public, to serve the 5th District, and to have had an opportunity for a year to chair the board. during a very interesting year. We had some tumultuous moments. Jeff Flores was reminding me of that yesterday. We had some ups, some downs, and we lost our county clerk that has been here since I've been here, our planning director has been here since I've been here. And I'm reminded as we seamlessly continue that the county apparatus is strong, that the county family is strong, and that we continue to move forward. And that the specific role that I play is a great honor and a privilege, but it really is, it pales in comparison to the overall movement, synergy, and greatness that is Kern County. And that it makes the experience incredibly humbling to see the county in action and see all the players and actors, from KGov to public services to our actors in public safety, and I could go on and on. It is a remarkable county. We lead the state and the nation in so many regards, and it is it's an incredible time to be at the helm in Kern County. So you have a big job, Supervisor Peters. I want to thank my colleagues for being so gracious in this last year, a tumultuous year even for me personally. And my colleagues were incredibly gracious. They were gentlemen every step of the way, and we really make a great team. Despite our stunning and remarkable differences, our love for Kern County really shines through. So I want to tip my hat to you. Thank you. And say I look forward to another great year in Kern County. Thank you.
I just wanted to say that I know it's not easy being on the board with this very opinionated group of gentlemen, but we might not always be on the same side of issues. I know that the convictions that we have do come from being on the same side, and that's the side of the people of Kern County. So I appreciate your leadership, your friendship, and my style might be a little less effusive than yours. You are definitely a tough act to follow as chairman, so I appreciate you and your leadership. And I will turn it over to Supervisor Flores.
That is so gracious. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chairman Peters. Well said. Despite our different backgrounds and philosophies, when it comes to Kern County, we are all on the same page. And that page in front of Supervisor Perez is one page of a big year, many paragraphs. Each paragraph represents advancing economic development, public safety, election reform, healthcare, parks, you name it, the myriad of issues facing Kern County. And you were at the helm, like you said, you led our board, and you did it with civility, with professionalism, with grace, with patience, something that I can learn from you. And you did it with fairness, and it's not just on the dais, it's what she does off the dais. And just closing last year, she was at the tip of the spear for food distribution. When families went without, she really rallied and led our board and did that, and it's a tremendous effort. And she closed off the year with getting Christmas families and gifts for those that were without means at Open Door Network, and she really she does the work that needs to be done, and I commend you for that, and thank you for your service as chair, and I look forward to working with you. And also Supervisor Peters, this is your second rodeo, and so look forward to having your leadership also at the state level, at the federal level, and being a champion for Kern County, and you have my full support, and I wish you well in your chairmanship.
Thank you, Jeff. Supervisor Parlier.
Thank you, Chairman. I almost said Madam Chair. Letitia, I just want to thank you. Last year was my first year on the Board of Supervisors, and as chair, your mentoring, your friendship, your direction, and your humor has just been outstanding. I thank you again for your friendship, and I believe that if you ever want to put politics aside, you potentially have a job in stand-up comedy. So, awesome. Philip, you're going to do great, and I know the board's here to support you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. My BFF couch is up.
Well, I punched in, but it's just a note to staff. It says Supervisor Peters when I punch in. We haven't updated that yet.
Well, Supervisor, not Peters, couch.
I want to mention anything in particular sort of diminishes anything else you might have done, but I want to particularly thank you for the work that you and I got to do with the folks that are sitting here in the front row. I think that is when local government works at its best, when we're actually working with people that are interested in a subject or a topic, and we spent a lot of hours and really all year working on that. So I appreciate your willingness to do that and your effectiveness, and I think they do as well. So I want to compliment you and thank you for that. And Philip, good luck. Anything you need, let us know.
Thank you, sir.
Can I say one
Absolutely.
thing? I failed to mention to thank the public. My apologies. In particular, my new friends, led by Mr. Shin and an incredible team of concerned citizens, great servants in their own right and capacity. You have taught me so much. It has been incredibly humbling to learn from you, to be pushed by you, to be challenged in a new way. It is extraordinary, and you've been so effective. You brought Supervisor Couch and I to the table to be partners and to serve the community in a new and exciting, really cutting-edge fashion. So I want to thank you, members of the public, but in particular this team that continues to mold and guide me and help me do my job better. So tip my hat to you. Thank you, and the floor is yours, Chair Peters.
Thank you. Okay, the board will now hear item number 2, and that is proclaiming January 2026 as Human Trafficking Awareness Month in Kern County. And I believe this item will be presented by Supervisor Parlier.
Thank you, Chairman. Motion to approve.
Second.
Please cast your votes.
Jeff, I need you to vote. The motion is approved. All ayes.
Chairman, colleagues on the Board of Supervisors, today I rise and speak on one of the most disturbing human rights violations of our time. Human trafficking can happen anywhere, to anyone, regardless of age, background, or circumstance. Unfortunately, this crime is not an abstract. It is a reality of our communities. According to the National Human Trafficking Hotline, California has been identified as one of the states with the highest number of human trafficking cases in the nation, with thousands of cases being identified every year. In just the last year, more than 1,700 cases of human trafficking have been reported in California involving more than 3,600 individual victims, many of whom are women and children. As one can assume, human trafficking thrives in the shadows. It is fed by vulnerability and silence, but it can be stopped when communities act together, survivors are supported, and awareness is raised. I'd like to commend organizations like the Kern Coalition Against Human Trafficking and local healthcare providers that work tirelessly to fight against these terrible crimes. And on a personal note, too, I've witnessed this firsthand in my days of working Vice and seeing the victims and the damage that human trafficking causes. At this time, I'd like to invite Dustin Contreras with the Kern Coalition Against Human Trafficking to speak more on this topic. Before I do, I'd like to present this proclamation to proclaim January 2026 as Human Trafficking Awareness Month in Kern County, signed by our Honorable Chair. Job well done, Dustin. Please, sir.
Thank you, Supervisor Poyer. I want to bring up all of my partners here. They get shy, but come on up, everyone, please, on this side as well. My name is Dustin Contreras. I introduced myself because with the beard, I lost a gentleman's bet to Supervisor Couch, so I have to have this beard for a year. Long story. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, you do have a human trafficking expert in Supervisor Parlier. He talked a little bit about his vice, but this gentleman has for lack of better terms, saved children that were involved in human trafficking. He doesn't talk about it much, but I didn't mention it last year because I was starstruck by seeing him on the dais. But if you ever have questions regarding, especially when it comes to children, refer to Supervisor Poirier. I want to give some quick thank yous. Senator Shannon Grove for the laws that she's pushed at the legislature. Sometimes when things get moot at a local level, you kind of have to go higher, and that's kind of where Senator Shannon Grove took the lead and started changing some of the laws when it came to our children. I want to thank the board, the CAO's office, Mayor Go, with the City of Bakersfield, our District Attorney, Cynthia Zimmer, the Kern County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Youngblood in particular, and Under Sheriff Larry McCurtain, and the new Kern County Sheriff Vector Unit that was created to combat human trafficking on an investigative level. Bakersfield PD Chief Terry and Assistant Chief Brent Stratton, our Homeland Security Investigations, FBI Dave Hunter and Riley Smith, Kern County Human Services Department Luda Murillo, and I got Dr. Angela Look here and Christy Esquivel behind me. Kern County Probation Chief Bill Dickinson and Katrina Garcia, who's done a lot of work on the ground level, and I'll speak a little bit more about how people stay in their areas to combat this, to combat human trafficking here in Kern County. Our Open Door Network, Lauren Skidmore and Angelica Zuniga, who's here, the Women's Center High Desert that handles kind of our advocacy over in the East County. We always forget kind of, those towns out there where a lot of trafficking happens. The Tone Indian Tribe, who's with me, Vice Chairwoman June Nature, and I'll introduce Ophelia here in a second. Jen Jensen with Global Family, and Des Perkins, who's behind me as well, from Empowerment. Board, thank you for this proclamation declaring Human Trafficking Awareness Month in Kern County for 2026. On behalf of the Kern Coalition Against Human Trafficking and the many partners who show up every day, thank you for recognizing a truth we can't ignore. Human trafficking is real. It's here and it thrives in communities that look away. Human trafficking is modern-day slavery, whether it's sex trafficking or labor trafficking. And through the 4 Ps, prevention, protection, prosecution, and partnership, partnership remains a foundation that allows Kern County to lead and coordinate an effective response. Our work is informed by the national best practices. Polaris Project, who's ran the human trafficking hotline, the National Human Trafficking Hotline, which Supervisor Perler spoke about, has recently gave up the hotline to another nonprofit, which KCAT is working with. KCAT, if you don't know, we vet everyone that is on that National Human Trafficking Hotline at a local and regional level to ensure that it's a victim-centered approach when someone comes related to the human trafficking and responding to any type of case. We're going to continue to partner with that framework, ensure continuity, accountability, and survivor-centered response. Before I continue, it's important to pause and recognize the effective anti-human trafficking work must be inclusive of tribal voices and lived community experience, particularly when we speak about vulnerability, exploitation, and the ongoing MMIP crisis. I'm honored to introduce Ophelia Flores of the Tone Indian Tribes Community Advocacy Program. Her work stands at the intersection of human trafficking prevention, survivor advocacy, and indigenous community protection. Through collaboration with the Kern Coalition Against Human Trafficking, her efforts ensure responses are culturally responsive, survivor-centered, and rooted in trust. Ophelia, come on up. Just don't drop my stuff.
My turn. Hi, I'm Ophelia, and I'm a survivor of human trafficking when I was a child. Also, human trafficking, sex trafficking, and heroin addiction. I serve with the Tohono Indian Tribe Community Advocacy Program. In tribal and rural communities, vulnerability often shows up in layers: poverty, instability, domestic violence, historical trauma, addiction, and limited access to services. I lived that. Those same conditions increase risk for both human trafficking and the MMIP crisis. Trafficking and MMIP intersect. They both depend on invisibility, on people not being seen, not being believed, or not being reported quickly enough. As a child, I learned early what that feels like to disappear in plain sight. That's why advocacy, awareness, and and a coordinated response matters. This is why our collaboration with Kern Coalition Against Human Trafficking, I always say KCAT, so that's hard to say, has been so impactful when survivors are met with trauma-informed advocates, culturally responsive support, and partners working together. People just don't survive this. They begin to stabilize and heal, and that takes years. I will be in therapy for the rest of my life. I've seen survivors return to school, gain employment, and build healthy relationships. That is the most awesome. And find their voice. I found mine. And when survivors thrive, that success becomes prevention for the next person, because hope is contagious. So when I speak about it, there's hope. I give them hope. We give them hope. Thank you for recognizing Human Trafficking Awareness Month and for supporting partnerships that protect people, uphold dignity, and save lives. Thank you.
Before I continue, it's important to pause and recognize the effective anti-human trafficking work must be inclusive. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading the same thing. See, this is what happens when you don't wear glasses. I'm getting old. I also wanted to acknowledge the essential truth. None of this work happens without boots on the ground. The social workers, detectives, caseworkers you see behind me, youth probation officers, advocates, and frontline professionals who do the initial heavy lifting, often quietly under immense pressure, are the backbone of our anti-human trafficking response. They are the ones who step into uncertainty. They are the ones who remain when cases are complex, prolonged, and difficult. They are the ones that choose presence over promotion and service over recognition. These are not people passing through that work. They are people who have chosen it. They are experienced professionals who remain on the front lines by design, not by chance. While opportunities to promote or move on exist, many stay because this work demands expertise, continuity, and earned trust. They form the foundation of our response, the skilled, reliable force that sustains progress long after the spotlight moves on. They carry the burden of hope, not as idealists, but as professionals who understand the cost of this work and remain committed anyway. Their impact is measured not in recognition, but in lives stabilized, harm interrupted, and dignity preserved. Throughout history, societies have been judged not by what they proclaimed, but by what they tolerated. The fight against slavery has never been easy and has never been finished by a single generation. Freedom is not self-executing. It requires vigilance, courage, and collective resolve. Our responsibility is not to congratulate ourselves for awareness, but to continue the work until exploitation no longer finds refuge in silence, especially in Kern County. This proclamation is more than words on paper. It is a commitment that Kern County will continue to choose coordination over silos, compassion over judgment, and action over awareness alone. Thank you all for listening to me again, the years and years. Like I say, I hope there's one day that we do not have to come here and have this proclamation that human trafficking can go away and exist. And my call to action for everyone is you can always do something in your professional and personal lives to help people and to end human trafficking. Thank you again.
Dustin, I wanted to thank you and your team here and all the community members that you mentioned for their work in this incredibly important but unfortunately necessary effort that you're all in. But thank you again for being here. And I didn't recognize you at first with that beard, but welcome to the team.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you all for being here.
Right.
Please, Dustin, let's get in the middle. Everybody just kind of gather around. Here, squeeze on in. Bring it on in. There's plenty of room back here. Yeah, maybe a couple of people on that side. Flip over here. Sorry, Katrina, you're speaking later. You're at the Liberty Bell.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay, our next item is going to be item number 3, and that is proclaiming January 2026 as National Eligibility Workers Recognition Month in Kern County. And I think this is going to be presented by Supervisor Couch.
Motion on the proclamation.
Second.
Okay, please, Kat.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, board members. It's my honor to present this proclamation this morning. Eligibility workers see people who are in need of help and often see people at very difficult times in their life, and they help enroll qualified individuals for or in the benefits that they need at that time. We hear also a lot about fraud all over the country. These folks are also really the first line of defense in an effort to make sure that those benefits go to people that are truly qualified and truly need them. So they have a tough job, and I appreciate the work that they do, and this is our way of recognizing them. I'm going to read the proclamation and turn it over to Lito, who heads up the department where they all work. The Board of Supervisors, County of Kern, State of California, has officially proclaimed January 2026 as National Eligibility Workers Recognition Month. Our Honorable Chair, Philip Peters, has entered this into the official board minutes with his signature, stated today, January 6th. Lito, present that to you. Let you introduce your guest.
Thank you, Supervisor Couch, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Happy New Year to all of you. It's an honor and privilege to be up here to recognize our eligibility workers. This is truly a distinct honor. I'd like all the eligibility workers in the audience to please stand right now. So we brought a handful of eligibility workers for you. As Supervisor Couch alluded to, it's being an eligibility worker is a real difficult job, and I can attest to it. I started with the county as an eligibility worker. I can tell you that some other leaders have also been eligibility workers. Jose Lopez, your Veterans Director, started as an eligibility worker. Liz Chavez, who you recently will be appointing to the Civil Service Commission, who used to be your Child Support Director, was also an eligibility worker when he started. So a lot of leaders have come about because of this profession. It's a difficult profession, but as Supervisor Couch mentioned, they do such great work in our community. Just to put things in perspective, we process 16,000 CalWorks applications in a year, another 70,000 CalFresh applications, another 58,000 Medi-Cal applications on an annual basis. That's not to mention the ongoing caseload work that we had to do of 18,000 CalWorks cases, in excess of 100,000 CalFresh cases, and 200,000 Medi-Cal cases. So there's ongoing work aside from the applications we process. And the economic impact they have on the county on a monthly basis estimates to be about $70 million. Tremendous work. And that's not even including the Medi-Cal portion, which, as you know, not only do eligibility workers provide shelter and food assistance, but they also provide medical care through eligibility determinations through Medi-Cal. So I just want to thank the eligibility workers in the audience and those that are back in the office for the tremendous work that they do. I appreciate them, and I'm so grateful for all of them. Now I'll turn it over to Nanette Uzzle, who's our Assistant Director.
Good morning, Chair and members of the board. As Lito stated, my name is Nanette Uzzle, and I am the Assistant Director over the Program Support Bureau at DHS. I want to thank you for this recognition on behalf of our eligibility professionals. We appreciate your support and agree that this acknowledgement is absolutely well-deserved. Our eligibility professionals provide a crucial service to our community day in and day out. Their work is difficult and complex. These workers work with children and families and individuals in moments of crisis and despair. However, they approach their work with compassion and empathy for those they serve. It is because of their hard work and their tireless efforts that the most vulnerable individuals, children, and families in our community are able to meet their basic needs, including food and shelter. Lito already shared with you the enormous amount of work that they do and the numbers of cases that they process on a daily basis. I'd like to add to that they also work on foster care cases of over 1,900, over 2,300 general assistance cases. During our winter recess, our HSTs continued to help those in immediate need, and as a result, hundreds of individuals and families were served during this time. Further, during the federal government shutdown, our HSTs continued to work and pivot as needed to ensure our customers were being served. I also wanted to commend our eligibility workers for their performance in our recent successful management evaluation conducted by the state. Kern was one of 2 counties who received recognition in the area of program access. Kudos to eligibility workers. To celebrate this accomplishment as well as their daily efforts, this month we will be celebrating with them with various activities, including raffles and treats. In addition, we will be sending eligibility professionals to the annual New Paths Eligibility Conference. Again, thank you for your proclamation and acknowledgement. Again, I'd like to ask our eligibility staff to stand up and be recognized.
Thank you, Lito and Lynette, and all of you for being here and all of the hard work that you do. I appreciate it. Okay, our next item is number 9, public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on this agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board. Board members may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed. They may ask questions for clarifications, make referrals to staff for factual information, or request staff to report back to the board at a later meeting. Also, the board may take action to direct staff to place a matter or business on a future agenda. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state and spell your name. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and board. I'm going to begin on page 2 of Memorandum 25051. Mental incompetency and conservatorship. The Superior Court of each county must provide notice to the Secretary of State of all court orders regarding any person's competence to vote, along with identifying information for the affected persons. The SOS compares the identifying information received from county superior courts with VoteCal and provides county elections officials via EMS messaging and cancellation and restoration information, respectively, regarding any matched voter regulations records within 3 days of the receipt of the information from the courts. County action required for cancellation. Step 1. Upon a cancellation match, VoteCal will send a restorations cancellation EMS message titled RAC to vote pre-cancellation to the county identified with the voter. County election officials must notify these individuals 15 to 30 days before canceling their resignation. The notification must include a return notice. See Attachment 1, Mental Incompetency Conservatorship, Sample Pre-Cancellation Notice, and A2, Mental Incompetency Conservatorship Sample Return Form. As soon as the county responds to the message, the pre-cancellation notice has been sent, VoteCal will immediately send a message to the EMS RAC voter disqualification. VoteCal will not allow the cancellation to be made prior to the passage of 15 days. If no response is received within 15 days of sending the pre-cancellation notice, the county must respond to the RAC voter disqualification EMS message on or after the 16th day of the pre-cancellation period and confirm the cancellation. County action required for restoration. Upon restoration match, VoteCal will send an REC to voter registration EMS message. County election officials must respond to the EMS message and notify these individuals they may register to vote and provide for them information on how to register. Next is Dennis McLean.
Dennis McLean, MC, capital L-E-A-N. Morning, Chairman Peters and Supervisors. I will be reading from the bottom of page 2 under the title Felony. The Department of Corrections and Rehabilitations, the CDCR, must provide to the SOS on a weekly basis specified identifying for 1, persons who have been imprisoned for the conviction of a felony and are under CDCR jurisdiction, and specified identity information for persons on parole, and 2, persons released from the imprisonment for the conviction of a felony and no longer under the CDC control. The SOS compares the identifying information received from the CDCR with VoteCal and provides county election officials via EMS messaging with cancellation and restoration information regarding any matched voter registration records within 3 days of receipt of the information from the CDCR. County action required for cancellation. Step 1, under a cancellation match, VoteCal will send a felon to vote pre-cancellation EMS message to county identified with the voter. County election officials must notify the individual 15 to 30 days before cancellation of their registration. See this form in your packet. County action required for restoration. Upon restoration match, VoteCal will, is that the same page? Blah, blah, blah. That's all I have to say, and I kind of paraphrased that because I had too much to read. So next will be Mr. Jesse Sanders. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Peters.
Thanks, Jess.
Fine job you did, Ms. Perez. Name's Jess Sanders. I'm going to be continuing on page 3 under the section of death. When the county, when the county adds or updates a registration record of when the SOS receives a new deceased record for California Department of Public Health, if any deceased record appears to match the voter's records, VoteCal sends a potential deceased match EMS message to the county to identify with the voter. County actions required as step 1 is upon the potentially deceased match EMS, the county must review the voter records associated with the deceased record and complete data, a date of birth, name, and any other information that might verify the voter. If the county response is no, indicating that the voter does not match the deceased record, the response is sent back to the VoteCal and no further action is taken. If the county is, if the response is yes, indicating the voter record matches the deceased record and a new EMS message, deceased voter pre-cancellation is sent to the county to start the pre-cancellation process. Step 2. County elections officials must notify the individual within 15 to 30 days before they're canceling their registration. The notification must be returned with a return notice. See attachment C1 and C2 on this document. As soon as the county responds to the message that a pre-cancellation notice has been sent, VoteCal immediately sends a message to the EMS deceased voter cancellation. VoteCal will not allow the cancellation to proceed prior to 15 days. Step 3, if no other is received within 15 days of sending the pre-cancellation notification, the county must respond to the deceased voter cancellation EMS on or after the 16th day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Vice Chair, and to the Board of Supervisors. God bless America. I am Charles Shin, a retired Marine and a concerned citizen. The fourth item on this, change of address. County elections officials send voters National Voter Registration Act, NVRA 8D2, postcards when notified by Postal Service change of address data that voters have moved and left no forwarding address, or the data indicates that voters have moved out of state. See Election Code 2225C. Following the mailing of an 8D2 postcard to a voter, the voter registration record must be canceled if 1, voter has not responded to the postcard, 2, has not voted in 2 consecutive general elections, 3, has not voted or has not otherwise indicated continued residency within California. Cancellations for this reason must never take place during the 90-day prior to a election with federal offices on the ballot. See USC 20507C2. Well, I just happen to have printed that out. I'll give you a synopsis. Let's see what that says. Removal of names. This section provides conditions under which states may remove individuals from voter registration lists. Ineligibility criteria. States can remove names of individuals if found ineligible due to such reasons as death, change of a residence outside the jurisdiction. That would mean the county, not just the state. And failure to respond to confirmation notices. There are compliance requirements that no one would contest that we're not following. However, concerned citizens want to ensure that these 8D2 postcards are mailed out to each and every undeliverable returned to the Elections Department. That's known as a vote-by-mail ballot. As stated by our ROV, it shouldn't take 8 years or 2 general elections to promptly remove registered folks who've moved, died, or deemed incompetent or in prison for a felony. I will be followed by the perspicacious Russ Person.
I'll have to look that up. It's probably a compliment. My name is Russ Person, P-E-R-S-O-N, and I'm going to speak about implementation of Assembly Bill 1249. Assembly Bill 1249 was signed into law by Governor Newsom and is effective January 1st, 2026. Namely, AB 1249 adds Election Code Section 3016.3, which will require non-VCA counties to provide at least one early voting location on the Saturday before Election Day, and amends Section 3016.5, which relates to in-person voting with vote-by-mail VBM ballots. Beginning no later than 29 days before the election, any voter using a VBM ballot may vote the ballot at the elections official's office or a satellite location anytime before the polls close on Election Day. The voter shall vote the ballot either in the presence of an officer of the elections official or in a voting booth, as determined by the elections official, but in no case may their vote be observed. For a statewide election, a non-VCA county shall provide at least one early voting location on the Saturday before Election Day that is open for a minimum of 6 hours. To carry out subdivisions A and B, the elections official shall do all of the following. Provide at least one voting until that is certified or conditionally approved by the Secretary of State to allow voters with disabilities the access required under the Federal Help America Vote Act of 2002. Permit a voter to vote their VBM ballot in accordance with Section 3016.5. Provide notice of any satellite location no later than 2 weeks before voting may occur at the satellite location. For a Saturday early voting location, The elections official shall also permit the voter to do all the following: return their VBM ballot, register to vote, update the voter's registration, and vote pursuant to the section. Receive and vote a provisional ballot, receive a replacement ballot, and vote a regular provisional or replacement ballot using accessible voting equipment that provides for a private and independent voting experience.
Mr. Person, we've got to bring your comments to a close.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, Supervisors. My name is Mercy Pena, and I will be reading in the in-person voting by vote by mail ballots. MERCY-PENA. A voter may vote by mail ballots without the ballot identification envelope in person at the office of the County Elections Office, a satellite location, the polling place designated by the voter's home precinct, or a voting center. If all of the following conditions are met, the county elections official or the staff, including all staff managing a satellite location, a precinct board, or a vote center, election board, as applicable as real-time access to the county elections officials' election management system, EMS, and does both of the following. A, verifies the voter has not returned a vote-by-mail ballot for that election, and 2, changes the status of the voter in the EMS from a voter-by-mail voter to an in-person voter. After the voter status has been changed, the voter provides their name, address, and signature pursuant to the section 142.16. The county elections official has established procedures to ensure that a voter who casts a ballot pursuant to this method does not submit more than one voter-by-mail ballot without a ballot identification envelope, and the precinct board or vote center election board complies with those procedures. A ballot cast pursuant of this method shall be processed and counted in the same manner as a non-provisional ballot casted in person at the polling place or voter center. This is Election Code 306.5B. The elections official shall provide notice of any satellite location no later than 2 weeks before the voting may occur by the satellite location. Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning.
My name is Mike Ian from Mojave, G-U-Y-L-L-E-N. County Council letter states that actions taken at my home were conducted under California Code of Civil Procedure, Section 1822.50 through 1822.56. That law matters for 2 very simple reasons. First, execution. The law is clear. An inspection warrant may not be executed in the absence of the owner or occupant of the dwelling unless a judge specifically authorizes it.
Mr. Guillen, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but could you pull that microphone down towards you? It's a little hard to hear you.
I was the occupant. The law required my presence. Instead, I was arrested and removed. Once that happened, execution authority ended. Yet County Council's letter confirms that entry occurred afterwards, including questioning civilian contractors about my grandfather's burial flag. That confirms entry happened when the law no longer allowed it. Second, judicial authority. County Council's letter states that 3 warrants identified by 3 case numbers were obtained through the Superior Court of Kern County. I went to the Superior Court and obtained a certified letter from the court executive officer stating that those 3 warrants cannot be located in the court record. I'm not here to make accusations. I'm here to place 2 facts into the record. Actions were taken after execution authority had ended, and the court cannot locate the judicial records said to authorize those actions. Based on that, I am asking for direction. Who is responsible for addressing this? And where do I go next to resolve it consistent with the law?
Thank you, sir. I'll just ask staff if we're still in contact with Mr. Gann. I know there's been some discussion in the past.
Josh Rednick from our office has still been in contact. They've been sending some letters back and forth, and I will ask Josh to follow up on some of his last statements.
Okay,
See if there's any more information.
Great, thank you, I appreciate it. Any other speakers?
Hello, good morning. Congratulations, Supervisor Philip Peters and Leticia Perez. Before I get started, could I please, there's 2 packets here, one for the clerk and one for each one of the district members. Ow! You didn't see that. Oh, that hurt. Oh, God. There we go. Let me make sure I got it right, too. Okay, hello, good morning. My name is Thomasina Dorica Rivers. I am a resident of Kern County, Bakersfield. My name is spelled Tomasena, last name Rivers, like the water. Before you, you hold the EBT 2259 copy. You hold one, the one that was behind the 2 pages is the original document that I scanned in. The second one was where I was threatened in order to resubmit the documentation, or they would not release the CalWorks benefits for my child. So I first filed a police report and I turned it in, I want to say on the 2nd of April 2022, or I believe it was the 4th. So I turned it in, and then they waited 2 days to tell me they were not going to give me the funds unless I refilled out the form because it was the wrong form. Well, as you can see, they are the same form. And how I could prove the fraud, they are trying to avoid an internal investigation, whether by the FBI or the state or federal government. This is why I believe this is the purpose of having me refile it, because the one that I filed, I stated in my police report that I believe that the welfare department had scammed my benefits. And how do you think I know this? Is because the caseworker said to me, we're gonna give you a new account number. Now, EBT scamming can only be scammed or cloned your PIN and your card. This is how I have now sent this to the FBI here on Olive, I believe it is. And I've also sent it to the district judge, well, Magistrate Judge Chris. So that was just one thing I wanted to get out of the way. I know I'm gonna run out of business, but this is to, this is a citizen's, this is your jurisdiction. I know, please don't run out of time, Thomasina. Okay, so my statement of claim and why I'm suing Kern County. Okay, CalWorks versus CalFresh benefits. CalFresh programs families with CalWorks, and then it says SNAP provides food assistance, although both programs are administered by the same agency. They're separate programs, separate eligibility rules. It says if the county stopped your CalWorks due to household compensation issues, for example, not recognized by a separate household, that alone does not automatically justify stopping your benefits. Well, let me just go down here to the bottom. The county cannot lawfully stop your SNAP benefits for the same reason they stopped your CalWorks. If a judge already ruled in your favor, SNAP eligibility must be determined independently. The welfare department terminated SNAP benefits. And that's, sorry for overdoing it, but that was that. But this was something I heard from Lito Matarella, who tried to tell me that CalFresh and SNAP were 2 different programs. Well, the judge ruled in my favor for CalWorks, and they could not stop it for the same reason they stopped my CalWorks. So have a great day.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Sorry, Mr. Peters. Have
No
a
problem.
wonderful
Thank
day.
you. You too. Any other public speakers?
Miss Lisa, MS.LISA, middle initial K, last name Pollard, POLLARD. So yesterday I made some notes to share with our chairwoman of the year. And so today I just want to reiterate the reason why I came. The first time was to read the preamble in honor of my mom. And also I've learned that I wanted to learn about local government. And so I just wanted to share a little bit what comes to my heart for the last year. After my mom died, I was struggling to get out of the house. And so the chairwoman was very encouraging to me, and so that really helped me a lot for the whole year. And I think to others too, because she was very talkative and sharing her confidence in her constituents that we have hope in the government. So when I would come, I saw things that were said, just like the young lady that came up, our concerned citizens, and trickles of other people that have come. And I got a general census of the people that came in and did their 2 cents. And so I think we need education for our constituents on what to do, because it does take a long time for that individual to figure all that out, let alone we know government takes a while. And a lot of that, I think our chairwoman shared those things. And I think it calmed people's demeanor where we had, like you used the word, civility. And so I want to say, I want to offer, I want to be an extension of all of your districts, how I could shadow you. I thank you for the invitation to our new chair to do that, and whoever else. I guess I can only do it one at a time. Focus on one. So anyway, it's nice that you do make comments in general to encourage our community to come up and know that it is a good investment to say something to the board, because a lot of them come and they say, this is the last time I'm coming, nothing's getting done.
I appreciate your comments, I really do, but we're 45 seconds over.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Any other members of the public like to comment? Seeing none, our next item is item number 10, and that's board member announcements or reports. Any comment from the board? Supervisor Flores?
Thank you, Chairman. I'd just like to bring to our public's attention that oftentimes, we vote on a number of items on consent, and those items are important too. And one such item today was an item from our district attorney's office. I'd like to thank Cynthia Zimmer and her staff working on a $885,000 grant with the Office of Traffic Safety. And this is to crack down on DUI driving and help with convictions, help with better sentencing, and ultimately saving lives. So I just wanted to give that office a shout out. And we've got work to do in Kern County. Per capita, we're one of the highest in the state. And also as a city of Bakersfield, we're one of the highest in the nation. So there's a lot of work to be done on that front, and that work is ongoing, and that work got better this morning with the action that our board took to approve that contract for part of last year and up to September of 2026. So just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Flores. Any other comments or reports from the board? Okay, not seeing any and having no more items to consider, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn to closed session to consider item number 40 under County Administrative Office.
Motion adjourned.
Without objection, we're adjourned.